So today at 6:22, we received a call for an accident response. That's an engine ladder battalion chief and medic unit to the off ramp of Cottman Avenue here. Companies arrived on location and they found we had heavy fire from a vehicle. We don't know what type of vehicle it was, how many vehicles it were happening. So we tried to extinguish the fire here. We did upgrade it to a hazmat box because we got reports that it could have been a tanker or something like that. We don't have that confirmation at all. At that point in time, we brought more resources here to the incident. As you see right now, we are still here doing what we have to do. Again, we passed this on to, we did have a collapse of 95, okay, on the northbound side, okay? And the southbound side is compromised by heavy fire. It looked like we had a lot of heat and heavy fire underneath the underpass, okay? No report of any occupants or drivers or anything like that. We don't have any of that yet. But as you see, we have all of our team here we'll be here for a while. It's under investigation by our fire marshals and all of our partners. Again, we'll be here for a while. What you hear, let me explain the explosions you hear. Those are the runoff of maybe some fuel or gas lines that could have been compromised by the accident. Okay, so that's what you hear in the, I guess it's the release of that. We have fire coming out of those manholes. So we'll be here, until this is over. Absolutely. So.
Federal response at all?
John?
Sure, good afternoon, or good morning, pardon me. Dominic Morellis, the director with the city's Office of Emergency Management. So here you have the city agencies that are pretty much the 911, as you could imagine when something like this occurs. Because of the complexities of the state roadway behind us, there's obviously, being close to the Delaware River with the storm drains involved, we're concerned about the environmental impacts as well, what the runoff might look like. And so, yes, it's a response from all the above. And what you see is just one layer of kind of that response right now. What's going on behind the scenes is, of course, we have PennDOT and Pennsylvania State Police engaged for the state infrastructure, state roadway, but then, of course, U.S. Coast Guard monitoring as well with city hazmat forces for the environmental side of it. Today's going to be a long day, and obviously with 95 northbound gone, and southbound questionable, it's going to be even longer than that. So this is all very preliminary right now. We really just kind of want to tell you guys what the next couple hours look like, and what it looks like is getting all those agencies involved, whether they're headquartered here in Philadelphia, Harrisburg, or beyond, engaged on the same page and make sure we understand what needs to happen. The recovery alone is going to be, it's heavy construction equipment going to be required to come in and start to remove that debris there.
Rush hour, not going to happen.
It'll happen.
It'll happen.
The roadway's gone.
Going to close. Yes,
And it'll be a significant impact to this community for a while. So I think the message that you guys should help us out with is telling folks to avoid the areas, use other ways. Certainly you could use Roosevelt Boulevard or other areas, but 95 will be impacted for a long time.
Any idea what's burning?
Chief?
So we believe it's a vehicle underneath. We do. That's what you see burning right now, and then the impact from the vehicle. So again, like everyone said, it's kind of like a collapse of 95 on the roadway. So we can't get, again, same like any collapse that we deal with. We got to move heavy equipment just to get to the seat of the fire, and we'll be here, until that happens.
That's a road, though. It's not where they park trucks under 95.
No, that is a road. That is the underpass of 95. I guess that would be northbound. Absolutely.
So to be clear, injuries unknown?
Unknown.
What was the biggest challenge fighting this fire, and are you still fighting it?
We are still fighting. Okay. Yeah, we are still fighting it, and we'll still be here to any hot spots or anything. Again, like we have, just like any kind of dwelling or building or anything, just getting to the seat of the fire is our main issue. So we'll be doing that. Once we get things moved and everything, we'll get to the seat of the fire.
How hard is it to get to the origin of the seat of the fire?
Well, we need heavy equipment for that.
So
Which,
no searches happen.
no, not at all. No, not at all. So we just need heavy equipment to move in. Once we do that, again, we have water. All of our water towers and hand lines will be there to do, take care of it, to kind of keep it controlled. There's nothing surrounding it, so you don't have to worry about any of that spreading anyway. It's contained right to that area.
I haven't been up close, but why do you need heavy equipment to get to the seat of the fire?
Because the roadway collapsed. The roadway.
There's thousands of pounds, tons really, of steel and concrete that are on top of where the origin of the fire was. So I think, unfortunately, a lot of the questions we're not going to be able to answer right now. So what I will recommend is we'll probably draw to a close right here. Continue to do updates, and you will see press release communications, those types of things, especially as it relates to the impacts and detours for the days and weeks that follow on. And just to give you an idea of why this is going to evolve over the course of the day, we're in the emergency response mode, and that's being addressed. That folds into a recovery mode, trying to figure out also how bad of an incident this was, what is the extent of the damage, what are those impacts, how far they go. And so that's all going to take time. There's also an investigation piece of this as well, as there would be with any incident. And so that's all going to take time. And so for that purpose, I think without any other pressing questions right this second, we'll be back in touch with it. Yes, sir. Yep.
Before you go, you mentioned runoff. What kind of contaminants could there be in the river?
So it's just all of the, could be fuel. We don't know from the vehicles. Okay, that's the runoff we're talking about. So the storm drains are right there. So that's what you hear popping off of the drainage and the manholes. So it is draining into the Delaware, but no impact on that. We have the Coast Guard there. We don't have to worry about. They'll do an investigation on that part. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Good.